Today's video is an eyeshadow palette tag video, and it's my monthly collab with Andi from Andi Does Stuff. Andi came across this tag video and wanted to do the palette tag. This is the original idea of Chic Geek. I will have her channel and her video linked down below. If you'd like to see what the questions are and my answers, then stick around. Hey howdy, hey y'all, Leanna here. My background. Elephant in the room, it's back. It's back. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Anyway, that's a whole nother story for another video. Let's get into these tag questions. The first question is a palette you wore on a special occasion, and right off the bat, that one stumped me because I don't do a whole lot of special occasions type things. However, since I am doing this collab with my girl Andi, I had to pull out the Stone Cold Fox palette. This is Andi's favorite palette, and it is a beautiful palette. And the last time that I used this palette was for a very special occasion. Tina from Tina's Beautiful Journey and I did a birthday video for Andi for her birthday because this is her favorite palette, and we each did a look. I recreated a look that Andi had done with this palette in one of her videos, and I got so many compliments on that look. Thank you, Andi. But that was a very special occasion because Andi is a very special person. And I am also wearing this in today's video along with a little something extra. Anytime I do anything with Andi is a special occasion because I absolutely just adore her. So, special occasion, Stone Cold Fox. The next question is a palette you love but it is repetitive. And I'm not sure if the repetitiveness means the shades in the palette, or if it's repetitive because it's kind of like a lot of other palettes that I may or may not have. I chose the Violet Voss Taupe Notch palette. This is a beautiful, beautiful palette, but as you can see, some of the shades in there do look a little repetitive. These two shades here kind of look the same. These up here kind of look the same. It has quite a few shades in it that look a little repetitive, and it looks like a lot of other palettes that are neutrals, cool neutrals, so it is a little repetitive in both the shades and the color story. Either way, Violet Voss has a phenomenal formula, and I absolutely love this palette. The next question is a palette that you've gotten your money's worth out of, and I know I'm only supposed to pick one, but I had to pick two because they're both amazing, and I feel like that I have really gotten my money out of both of those. And the first one would be this Ace Beauté Paradise Fallen palette. I love this palette, and I got this in my Ice Cream Beauty box, so the palette essentially cost me about $6. I think that this is a $35, $40 palette when it originally came out, but as you can see, it is very well loved. There are quite a few little dents in there. This palette stays very close to my vanity. I have a very extensive palette collection, and this palette is in my private collection, so it is within reach at all times next to my vanity, and I absolutely love it. The other one, if you've been with me for a while, you have heard me talk about this palette repeatedly, is the Alien Cosmetics Not Normal palette, which Alien Cosmetics now is Unearthly Cosmetics, and I love this palette. When I saw it, I was like, I don't know about that color story, but I'm here to tell you I love this color story. I use it all the time. This as well has some dents in it, and I think when I ordered this palette, it was either $40 or $45. This as well is in my private collection and is always within my reach because I use it quite frequently. The next question is a palette that was a good deal, and I almost hate to show you this palette because I don't believe you can get it on the website anymore, although there are several available at some of the other websites like Mercari or Poshmark. You might even be able to find it on eBay. But that is the Laura Geller, the Ultimate palette. This is a 31 eyeshadow palette, and they are all baked. I got this in a Laura Geller mystery box, so it cost me $4, and on the Laura Geller website, it was valued at $49, and it is a beautiful, look at those shades. This is a beautiful, beautiful palette for $4. That's what I essentially paid for it. If you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend it. The next question is a quad that you love that you wish were a bigger palette, and that would be this Delancey little multi-chrome palette. I do not know where I got this palette from. I don't know if it came, I know it came in a subscription type box because I did not purchase this palette, and I have been to their website, and I believe that this palette is on their website. They have 4 or 5 of these palettes. They're $21 a piece. And if all of those were all in the same palette, oh my goodness, this is what I have on my lids, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful palette. So to have this in a larger palette would be absolutely amazing. Y'all, I have my glasses on today. You know, I actually like to wear my glasses. I wear the contacts because I can't see to put my makeup on. Anyway, I would love to have this in a bigger palette with more of the same. The next tag, I should have been calling them tags, I've been calling them questions all this time, is you love the quality, but you hate the packaging. Actually, it's you love the quality of the eyeshadows, but you hate the packaging. And I have 2. The first one is Pat McGrath Labs. I mean, these boxes are so nice, but because they're so nice, I hate to throw them away, and then, I mean, that's just kind of a pain, although I keep the palette in it. And this palette, the packaging is very nice quality, but do you see all of the fingerprints and all of the things? And I hate that. I hate where you can see all of the fingerprints all over the mirror. You get fingerprints all over the back. It's just, it looks really messy, and I'm not a fan of that. Also, that palette is quite heavy, so if you have any issues with your hands or anything like that, that palette's going to be very difficult for you to hold on to. And the other one is the one that I was just talking about because it's so bulky. I like the little thin palettes, and these are, I mean, they're kind of holes, and I don't know, I'm not a fan of the packaging of this either. Love the formula. Laura Geller baked shadows are amazing, but not a fan of the packaging. The next tag is show your dream palette with singles, and now I'm kind of cheating a little bit because I've had this palette put together for quite some time, and it is in a Sydney Grace palette, and you know, like a true girly girl, I have thrown stickers all over it because, you know, we just love to do show and tell and play with our stickers, right? This is full of Makeup Geek shadows. Most of these shadows are Makeup Geek. There's a couple of oddball shadows in there, but you can see I've hit pan on 2. I love those cool tone browns. But this has everything in it that I need to do any type of look that I want. And this, again, is in my private collection. It is right here at my vanity at all times so that I can use it anytime I want to. I absolutely love all of the shades in this palette. And all of my stickers and everything just make me happy. They just make me happy because we need to be kind and we need to get rid of racism and we need to give ourselves some grace. Just love it. The next tag is palettes that you combined and used together. And that would be this Lorac Meraki palette. I love this palette. You can see that it is very well loved. Love, love, love this palette. And I love the shimmers that are in it. They are very, very nice shimmers. But I love to use, and this is, I'm cheating a little. Y'all know me. Always cheating. This is not an eyeshadow palette, but this is the Makeup Revolution highlighter palette, and this is in Vintage Lace is the name of this palette, and I love this palette. As a highlighter, you can see that I have used this one quite often as well, but it makes a phenomenal eye topper, so I use that with these shades from the Meraki palette all the time. I will use this with other palettes as well. So I know that I'm supposed to do a palette. I mean, it is a palette. It's just not an eyeshadow palette. But I've talked about it before, and I had to say that one because I just love it. Love it. The next tag is a palette that you wish was smaller. And that would be this monstrosity here, the Be Perfect Carnivore. I'm leaving that in there. Be Perfect Carnival 3 palette, Love Tahiti. This is Stacey Marie collab with Be Perfect. And I mean, look at the color story. It's gorgeous. But it is massive. And sometimes I'm just like, what am I going to do? Where do I start? So having some of these in a smaller, more manageable palette, I mean, look at it. It is a monster, but it is gorgeous and the formula is amazing. But yeah, I'd love to have this in a little smaller palette. The next tag is an eyeshadow palette that you wish had a matching face palette. And that would be the BH Cosmetics Naughty palette. And I know that BH, I mean, they've been bought and they're doing some things. It's not exactly the same. This is such a pretty palette. I love this palette. And I think that it would be so fun if it had a matching face palette to go with it that was holiday centered. So that if you're using this for the holidays, because look at those colors, then you would have a holiday kind of festive, spicy face palette to go with it. Would be absolutely amazing. So those are all the tags for the Eyeshadow Palette Tag 5000. Like I said, I will have Chic Geek listed down below so that you can go check out her video. Andi's video will also be linked down below. Make sure that you go check out Andi's tag video to see what palettes she chose for her tags. I'm certain that 99% of you know who Andi is, but in the event that you don't, make sure that you watch her video, and if you like her vibe, maybe you can stick around and watch some of her other videos, and you can give her a subscribe. Thank you, Andi, for suggesting the Eyeshadow Palette Tag. That was fun. It was a little challenging for me, but I did enjoy it. Thank you also for doing another collab with me. You know I absolutely love you to the moon and back. Before y'all go check out Andi and Chic Geek, make sure you show that like button some love. And as always, I'd like to remind you that makeup is meant to enhance the natural beauty that you already are, and we are all beautiful at any age and any size. Find something to be grateful for today, like my background. Pull your makeup out and play with it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Christopher, I haven't given you a makeup tip in a little while. Are you feeling neglected? You shouldn't be, because, I mean, like I cook you dinner almost every night, and, you know, I was just outside in the heat talking to you, so you shouldn't feel neglected. But maybe you should do a tag. Maybe you can tag your fishing poles or your fishing lures, and what you can come in here and get into my eyeshadow palettes and match up eyeshadow palettes and lures, and which eyeshadow palette you can use to recreate the colors on the lure. Okay, that sounds like a lot of work and kind of crazy, but that's the best I could do on such short notice, okay? Mama loves you, boo.